This is Mind Our Business. I'm your host, Mr. Proctor. This is where we communicate the links between business and our community to see what we can do to actually make a better future for one another. I like to actually discuss the beginning part of wealth and greed and the difference in between the two and similarities. Let's start with greed. My definition of greed is it's a mental and infectious illness. The reason why I say that is if you pay attention to a greedy person, they tend to have a selfish point of view of what is fair for them and them alone. And when is enough, I guess that's what I would like to say. Perfect example. Let's just say Wells Fargo. How to weigh this here that do not know. Wells Fargo was recently charged with over 2 million false accounts open under current customers. Now get this here, what I'm saying. 2 million. That's a large number of accounts. Not talking about dollars and cents, accounts. And what happened was 5,000 employees on lower levels who signed up these here accounts were fired, terminated, whatever. That is not the end all of the problem. It's actually just the bottom part of it. The top part is management. And over that there is the CEOs and shareholders and basically who is the beneficiary of this here. Now, why was the cause of all this here? I would say greed. Numbers projections that were set upon top for management to achieve the goals of signing new accounts. Why these new accounts? So they can add charges. Charges first dealing with operating and managing these here new accounts. The things that we done kind of got used to, like charges for your money being held, charges for your money being taken out, charges for your overdrafts and stuff of that nature. And if anybody remember, like I remember, you used to have a warning before you overdraft. If anything, you could not even take money past what you actually had. That there was generally a good thing. Now you can be overdrafted by a cent almost and get overdraft fees without even knowing how many days until that overdraft notice hits you. This is part of the deregulation of banking, along with the ideal of the gambling part of banking. Taking money that you had put insecure of their watch for your future and needs that was actually generated to be put on the stock market, being able to use as collateral for their business ventures, for their shareholders. And kind of like that's leading back to what I'm saying. On top, on to the middle, to the bottom, this cycle of greed actually started being the thing that forced the lower employee to saying, if I didn't make my numbers, I could lose my job. So whoever started it, this is the result of it. And think about it, when you get back to the top first, dealing with the CEOs and everything, these people are literally making over maybe, I'm just lowballing it because I don't know the actual numbers, over maybe $100,000 a minute. Now, get that. Most average Americans are not making close to that a year. And you have people on top making that there per minute. And don't forget, this is a low ball number. It could be even higher. When, after a career of maybe, let's just bottom out 10 years, if you're making that much money a minute, that you don't have a lifestyle of basic needs met beyond measure for you and generations of your family to come, to where you got to have more. That's where I say the mental illness. That's where I say when is enough is enough. That does not mean stop making money and earning and stuff, but these here keep on going for increases. I'm not doing well enough by just making a couple of $100,000 a minute. I need to make not 200,000 a minute. I need to make about $500,000 or $700,000 a minute. And that does not mean who hurts at the bottom for me to achieve that need. Now here's the infectious part of it. Now once that top person has that infection, it goes down to the next level, management. And then they see their benefits. And then they need to make sure that that is met by the other lower levels. Now the bottom of the bottom is pretty much is where the fat constantly getting cut off. And you have people that pretty much making no more than a few dollars, if that, above minimum wage. But they always dangle with the carriage of bonuses and chance of moving up in the higher ranks to get to that upper level of $100,000 a minute. And that's what I'm saying, it's infectious. Now let me get over to wealth. Now wealth is different to me. Wealth is something where you can obtain and sustain and spread amongst your family and those around you. My philosophy is just as important for my neighbors around me to be well off and successful as it is for me and my family. Reason being is it eliminates that desperation, that need to, if I can't have it, I'm going to get it from somebody who does. We done kind of fall out of favor of community. And yes, I understand some of the talking points of if one don't work, they do not eat and everything of that nature. But the thing about it, do you feed your children? 9 times out of 10, they don't work. Do you feed your pets? 9 out of 10, they do not work. You have to think a bit more than just self. And you do got to think about the preservation of those around you. So my ideal is working towards not just gaining wealth for myself, but for the community around me. If we all do well, we all can be able to have a sense of peace and understanding. And that's the reason why, like I say, having this here philosophy of creating a show is not just to speak my points of view and hope to get a couple of likes. It's actually a part of, if you're feeling and seeing and believe that this is something that we can achieve together, that we should do our best to connect and network for that means. And with the future of this broadcast and future broadcasts to come, I believe me and my associate, Mr. Watson, we will bring our perspective, our enlightenment, and the things that we learned to the table. So, saying those particular things, I know that me, myself, is looking forward to this journey. And I definitely hope that there'll be more than just talk, but action. Okay, until next time, I believe in you. Hope you believe in me. Peace and power equals unity.